أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني خالق بشرا من صلصال من حمأ مسنون فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. It is a mercy and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has accepted us to spend some time in His house and to sit in a gathering which is of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and remembrance of a very particular kind, which is to put the heart and the spirit of a human being in its right place, in its right direction. We've heard our mashayikh say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept attraction in His creations towards other creations. So if you look at a sunflower, it is constantly searching for the sun. That is why it's called sunflower, and its face is turned towards the sun. Similar is the case of our heart and our soul. It is constantly searching for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's constantly searching for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if our soul and our heart does not find, or if our body and our mind creates hindrances in its way, the soul becomes peaceless, does not find peace. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create a human being as a superficial creation. It is the most complex creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Himself proud of. And that is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the malaika, the angels, to actually do sajda to this human being. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these ayat that I recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the malaika that I am going to create a bashar, a human being, out of decaying clay, but not normal clay, but something that has decayed, deformed. Salsalim min hama'im masnoon, that has deformed, and that creates a sound. So Hazrat ulama mufassirin have explained that when a potter, we call it potter, right? When it has formed its whatever utensil it's creating, when it is dry and hard, then you hit it, strike it, it makes a sound. So that clay which has been deformed and hardened and makes a sound, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we are going to create a bashar out of this kind of a dark black clay. But the creation of bashar is not complete. The next ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that when I have straightened it, when I have perfected it, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِن رُوحِي, and I blow in it a soul from myself, a soul from my side. In another place in the Quran, the people came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ, they ask you about what is this ruh, what is this ruh, what is ruh? قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. Just tell them ruh is something that is from the direct command of my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. So although the answer is vague, but in this very small sentence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us very important things. Tell them that ruh is something that is beyond your comprehension, number one. Number two, it is from a direct order of my Lord. So it has a special attachment with my Lord. قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. And these ayat also, as Hakim al-Ummat rahimahullah has written, that only the caricature, only the body does not deserve to be done sajda by the malaika. فَإِذَا نَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, when I have blown into it something from my side, which is its ruh, فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ, then you all fall in front of him in sajda. And of course that sajda was only for a sajda of reverence, not a sajda of worship. Sajda of worship is not permissible. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a human being with the combination of a body and a soul. And that soul is that one thing. From these ayat we also learned, is very apparent, that this body and the khamir, the essence of this body, has come from this earth. Clay, which has come from this earth. And it is something called, in the language of Sufia, sifli. We understand that sifli, which is dark magic, dark arts. But sifli basically means something that is lower, something that is of a lower station, something that is inferior. So this body has been created. It is the inferior part of the combination of the two things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called a human being. And since it is inferior, it has desires that are inferior, and it has requirements that are inferior. And the ruh has been blown by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. Therefore it is high, it is connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is seeking an active connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it does not find peace without getting that connection coming alive, without getting that connection to come to life with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do this? The perfect hikmah of this is known by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But to travel through this stage of life that we are living through, which is that we have to stay in this world, this ruh needed a carrier. This ruh, this spirit, needed a carrier. And that carrier had to come from this earth, because it has to survive in this earth. And therefore, if you see, all the needs of this carrier, of this body, can be fulfilled right here in this world, from the things that are derived from the earth and which are present in this world. So this body needs food to survive, that food comes from the earth. This body needs air to breathe, it's found right here. This body needs water, the water is right here. This body needs comfort, to lie down, to sleep, all of those things are fulfilled right here. But the soul that is constantly searching for its own comfort cannot be found in this earth. Whatever this earth contains, it cannot be found from here. The peace, the comfort of the soul cannot be driven from anything of this world. It comes from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The reason why the original topic that was in my mind was, inshallah, we'll keep it short inshallah tonight. This soul is something that we have been asked to protect, because this is a special gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have to present before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in an original and true state. This soul we have to preserve and protect. And in ahadith and in the Quran itself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has disconnected this soul and this heart from the mind and the body. So these scientists, these doctors, bichare, they are very helpless people, because they have themselves put a bar on their own selves. So they do research and they spend their whole life researching things, but all their struggle, all their effort is restricted to this body. And when it comes to soul, they are just lurking in darkness. They are trying to find answers, but the answers they cannot find. The answers are found in the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is an ayah of the Quran that is coming to my mind, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, فَإِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَلْ أَبْصَارِ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَلْ قُلُوبُ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the non-believers, that why don't they go around in the earth and see for themselves and get ibrat, derive lessons out of what we've done, by traveling across this earth? Why don't they do it? But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is himself giving the answer. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that if they traveled around, their hearts would have an ayah before this, قُلُوبٌ يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. Their hearts would become like those, their hearts will become capable of understanding things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that their eyes are not blind. Their eyes are not blind. These bodily eyes, they are not blind. They are in a very good shape. But it is their hearts that have turned blind. Al-Latif is-Sudur, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clarifying that thing which is found in the chests. That thing which is found in the chests, that has turned blind. And this is the state of kuffar if you look at it. They are, as far as this world and this body is concerned, they are the most knowledgeable and they have the best of methods and means. So they will do research and create very good cars that will give you a lot of comfort and luxury. They will create homes that will fulfill the needs of this body. So their eyes are not blind, but their hearts have been turned blind. The Prophet ﷺ, there's a hadith that I read a long time ago, but it's coming back to my mind, that the Prophet ﷺ has said, in fact Hazrat Hakim al-Ummat Maulana Thanvi rahimahullah has written, that even the people of faith, I think he was quoting someone else, some other Shaykh, Mujaddid al-Fasani rahimahullah, if I remember correct, that if you, even in the believers, there is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ which tells us that most of them are very close to the state of munafiqeen, close of the state of hypocrites. Those hypocrites, the only difference is that they directly heard the sayings of the Prophet ﷺ directly from the Prophet ﷺ's mouth. They heard it and they turned away. And the present day munafiqeen are such that they hear it indirectly and turn away. So Hazrat has said that if you look at it justly, there is very little difference between the munafiqeen of that kind and the munafiqeen of this kind. And Hazrat has said that, if I remember the malfuz correct, that if you don't believe this, go into the gatherings of rich people, go into the gatherings of kings and the people in authority, and you'll see people there that they will, looking at the pleasure of the person in authority, they will turn away from the pleasure of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this hadith that he was referring to is, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, this whole soul that I'm talking about, the center point of that is heart. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that hearts are of four kinds. One is the heart of a mu'min, qalb ajrad, the heart that is illuminated. And it is illuminated, so it's an empty place illuminated with the noor of Iman. The heart of a mu'min is a vacant room, but it is illuminated with the noor. The chirag, the siraj, the source of light is the noor of that mu'min's heart, which is La ilaha illallah, the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then there is the heart of a kafir, which is totally covered, qalb aghlaf, in a ghilaf, in a covering. So we all have heard of this hadith. The Prophet ﷺ has said that when a person sins and disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts a dot of darkness, a mark of darkness over their heart when they sin, when they disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that dot of darkness is removed. But if they do not and commit another sin, another dot is placed. So much so that they keep on sinning without repenting. These are not the exact words of hadith, I'm just explaining it. That they keep on sinning without repenting, and there comes a point where their whole heart is covered in darkness, in a crust of darkness. This is the ghilaf that the Prophet ﷺ is talking about in the hadith. The qalb of a kafir, of a disbeliever, is covered into a crust of darkness. It has a cover over it. Good things cannot penetrate that heart. That heart has been made incapable of accepting the good. And that is because that heart resolved to do kufr. That heart resolved to do kufr. Iman was presented to that heart, but that heart firmly resolved that I do not have to believe. Therefore, when they intended, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completed their intention. Just like, but you understand the topic, right? You get the concept. That when you intend, the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that when you make a azm, when you make a firm resolve of kufr, Allah leads you to kufr. If you make a firm resolve of finding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes to your heart. Dr. Abdul Hayy Sahib Arifi rahimahullah has said it, उन्हीं को वो मिलते हैं जिनको तलब है. Stated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, उन्हीं को वो मिलते हैं जिनको तलब है, वही ढूंढते हैं जो हैं पाने वाले. So those who try to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants himself to them. Those who seek, those who make an effort. But anyway, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned two other kinds of qulub, two other kinds of hearts. One is, which is the qalb of a munafiq, the qalb of a hypocrite, well declared, well established munafiq. Iman is presented to it, the reality is presented to it, it takes it but does not accept it, turns away from it. But then the heart of musfah, a plain ground, which is the heart of common people, the people of these days, which is that it has good vegetation. That this is the explanation. All of this has been explained in the hadith. That good vegetation which flourishes from fresh water. Good vegetation that flourishes from clean water. And also it has a wound that is filled with pus and blood, which is nifaq. So it has both iman and nifaq. Whichever side of the things is worked on, if fresh water is provided through remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through sitting in the company of, in the gatherings of remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that vegetation of iman flourishes and overcomes the nifaq and kicks out the nifaq. And if through sinning and disobedience and negligence towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that wound is increased in pus and blood, then that wound overcomes the whole earth and it becomes full of nifaq. That heart becomes full of nifaq, just like the heart of a munafiq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. But the point is that we have to understand that this world, this life, what we are living, the time that we are spending, it's not all about this body that we are seeing. It's not only about how we look, how we appear, how we live, how big of a house we have, how much do we earn, what is our status in the society. All of these things are very, very, very temporary and they are going to go away. The reality that is hidden within all of us, which has been blown into each one of us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, is the ruh that we have to work on. I intended to talk about the fitan that are going to come. The Prophet ﷺ has warned us about them. And the Prophet ﷺ, I will not be able to give the complete explanation of that hadith, but the Prophet ﷺ has warned us about these fitan, these trials and tribulations, these challenges that are going to come. And the first words of the hadith are that innal fitan tu'ridu ala al-qalb. They will be, aw kama qala alayhi salatu wassalam, these fitan, these trials, these challenges will be presented upon the qalb, upon the heart. So if you think about it, living in this world, living in today's world, and this has been the case all along, everything is trying to take our heart away from us. Everything is trying to, these things that are being presented are all the fitan of heart, challenges to the heart. And if they succeed in taking our heart away, snatching our heart away, my father went to Hazrat Hakim Akhtar Rahimahullah. Hazrat Hakim Akhtar Rahimahullah has quoted it in his book. When he went to Hazrat Hakim Akhtar Rahimahullah to do his bayat, he said, Hazrat, मैं एक कटी पतंग की तरह हूँ, मैं चाहता हूँ मुझे अल्लाह वाले लूट लें इससे पहले कि शैतान लूट ले. Along those lines, Hazrat Hakim Akhtar Rahimahullah liked these sentences so much that he repeated them in his bayan. He said, एक प्रोफेसर साहब आए मेरे पास. He said, a professor came to me and said such a beautiful thing. He said that I am like a cordless kite, a kite that's cord has been cut, and I want that kite is, patang lootna, right? You understand? The kite is snatched, and the winner of the game is that person who has snatched that kite. I want that kite is snatched by the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not by the shaitan, not by the people who go here and there. This is a reality, that our heart is constantly facing things, and it will be snatched away. Either the hadith that I mentioned about Allah, the Prophet ﷺ has said that these fitan are presented. These fitan are presented. They try to snatch away the heart. So, if you look in your life, what kind of trials, what kind of challenges do we have today? Challenges of shahawat, our inferior desires that try to snatch us away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a direction of disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Challenges of loving the wealth. We want at least this much money in our life, at least that kind of a station in our life, so that when we have reached there, then we'll concentrate on our iman. Then we'll concentrate on becoming a person of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the shaitan has snatched something away, it never gives it back. Never gives it back. Tries its best to keep it with it. The Prophet ﷺ has said that these fitan are directly presented over the heart. They are not about the body. They are not about the body. So you will have comfort in your life. And look at the state of Muslims. They have, alhamdulillah, it's a good thing, but it becomes a bad thing when it starts overpowering the reality. Muslims have every sort of comfort here. Good houses, good cars, heat in their house, right? It's a comfort, thing of comfort, great comfort these days. All of these things, they relate to the body and they are there. They are there. But the Prophet ﷺ was concerned about the challenges that will be presented directly to the heart of a mu'min. And the Prophet ﷺ has said that if a heart partakes of those fitan, if the heart accepts those fitan, is driven away, then it is kind of similar words that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a dot of darkness is placed, and gradually it totally submerges into darkness. Totally submerges into darkness in such a way that good things do not penetrate that heart. And then the deal is done for that heart. For that heart the deal is done. It is headed to Jahannam. But if somebody finds strength within themselves and says no to these challenges, turns away from these fitan that are presented to his heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts a shiny white dot on his heart, so much so that constantly, as it gradually keeps on, with time it keeps on turning away these challenges, these attractive things that are impermissible by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the permissible things, the impermissible things that have attraction in them. The heart keeps on turning away from them, it becomes shiny, clear, white. And the words of the Prophet ﷺ are that no harm can come to that heart as long as the earth and the sky stand. As long as the earth and sky are there, no harm, no challenges can affect, can falter, can shake this heart from its place. These are the hearts of the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you pick any shaykh who are on the right path. You pick them and you study their life. And the best of them study the life of the Prophet ﷺ or any of his Sahaba. What challenges did they not have to face in their life? What kind of challenges did not have to face in their life? But they stood firmly where they were. All things of the world came to them and they were not able to falter or shake their heart from their place. My dear respected brothers, this heart is built. This heart is the construction ground of the Anbiya. The core purpose, the chief purpose of the Anbiya and their struggle is the heart. Is the heart. So the Prophet ﷺ did not tell us about science. He did not tell us about how to make comfortable beds or luxurious homes or cars. He had knowledge. He was given knowledge. If these things were important to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or to a human being, can you imagine that the best and the beloved Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not give us knowledge about those things? But what did the Prophet ﷺ work on his whole life? Qulub, hearts. And through his company, by you read the seerat of the Prophet ﷺ, what was the style of the Prophet ﷺ of teaching? Did he have a classroom? Did he read from books? What did he do? He asked people to come and stay with him. To become a Sahabi, people had to actually come and see the Prophet ﷺ and bring faith upon him. My dear respected brothers, these hearts, these qulub of the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are a ni'mat to us, are a blessing to us. And a blessing that we can neither fully understand nor fulfill the right of. Through these hearts, we find the love and recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine what these hearts give us. Imagine what great wealth these hearts give us. That turns our dunya and our akhirat towards good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. These qulubul awliya, these hearts of the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are there as a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us, and they will stay till the day of judgment. Now it is up to us if we go there and we seek our share from these hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. But to cope with the challenges that are going to come to everyone and to cope with the ways of shaitan, there is simply no other way. There is simply no other way other than to connect with these people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and develop a strong connection with them and find your place in their heart. Find your place in their heart and therefore derive the energy, derive the nur from their hearts, whereby inshallah our qulub also become musaffa, mujalla, right? The word, the qulub that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has talked reveringly about. The qulub that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has talked reveringly in the Quran. I'll finish with this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the day of judgment that on that day all things that you produce with your body, your banoon and your mal, your offsprings, your progeny and your wealth, which includes everything that you have, all of your assets, that will be of zero benefit. Illa, except for those man atallaha biqalbin salim. Those who come with a sound heart, with a straight, perfect heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Illa man atallaha biqalbin salim, ek sudhre hue qalb ke saath Allah ke saath pahunche, Allah ke paas pahunche, ek jache bane qalb ke saath Allah ke paas pahunche. Those hearts that have, those people who have worked on their hearts, these people will be able to derive the benefits of the things that their bodies did in this world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. We'll inshallah proceed for, I will make quick dua and then inshallah we'll proceed for food. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we are ashamed. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we have sinned and we have disobeyed, and Ya Allah, the heart that you gave us to make a place and station, special station of yours, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we are ashamed that we, Ya Allah, placed other idols in it. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we seek, Ya Allah, we seek from you, Ya Allah, that, Ya Allah, all the desires, all the loves of mundane things and the worldly things that we've placed in our hearts and that have established themselves in our heart. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, there is nobody except you that can clean and purify our heart. Ya Allah, there is nobody except you that can, Ya Allah, break these well-established buth, these well-established idols in our heart. Ya Allah, you please break them with your own hand, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, just like the Prophet ﷺ at the time of conquest of Makkah cleaned the Kaaba, your house, your special house, which has a special tajalli of you, Ya Allah. Just like the Prophet ﷺ cleaned it from his own hand, from his noble hand, through the effort of the Prophet ﷺ. Ya Allah, please clean our hearts, purify them, and Ya Allah, make them a place of special tajalli of you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we have no idea, Ya Allah, that what we are headed towards, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, you have warned us about it, Ya Allah. فَكَشَفْنَا عَنْكَ غِطَاءَكَ فَبَصَرُكَ الْيَوْمَ حَدِيدٌ. Ya Allah, before that day comes where all the curtains will be lifted from our eyes, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, when we will not be able to come back, we will not be able to correct, we will not be able to, Ya Allah, set right what we've wronged. Ya Allah, before that day comes, Ya Allah, make us aware of the reality, Ya Allah. Make us recognize the reality, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, make us recognize the reality, Ya Allah. Open our hearts, Ya Allah. Open our ears, open our eyes, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make us those who live to die for you, Ya Allah. Make us those who live on your love, Ya Allah. Who live on your love, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make us, Ya Allah, make us prisoners of your love, Ya Allah. Make us prisoners of your love, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, forever and ever, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, no matter how big of a folly we commit, Ya Allah, no matter how big of a mistake we commit, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, you please never let us go away, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please never let us go away, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make us stick to yourself, Ya Allah. Stick to your path, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, with your overpowering power, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, your power that can overpower everything else, Ya Allah. Our desires, the shaitan, the nafs, the situation that we are living in, the environment that we are living in, the pressures that we are surviving in, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you are well aware of all of these, Ya Allah. And your power is, Ya Allah, more powerful, and Ya Allah, the most powerful, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, with your power, Ya Allah, make us stick to your to the Iman, Ya Allah. Make our progeny and our generation stick to Iman, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, in our life, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, before we pass away from this world, Ya Allah, show us, Ya Allah, that our progenies are increasing and going ahead and far ahead of us in Deen and Iman, Ya Allah. Make them Hafiz and Muhafiz of Deen, Ya Allah. Make them the guardians of Deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are not fulfilling our job. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we are full of faults, Ya Allah. These arwah that you, Ya Allah, these arwah and ajsam, these bodies and the spirits that you made dependent upon us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you gave us the responsibility of these arwah that actually belong to you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are falling behind, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are committing many follies in protecting and fulfilling the rights of these arwah and these ajsam, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, correct our ways, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, who should we ask apart from you, Ya Allah? Ya Allah, who's there to help us, Ya Allah, without you, apart from you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, do not turn us away, Ya Allah. Do not turn us away, Ya Allah. Do not turn us away empty-handed, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, even if people go to the kings of this world, Ya Allah, they ask them for something, the king finds shame in not in turning them away empty-handed, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you are Samad. Ya Allah, you are Samad, Ya Allah. You are higher than all kings, Ya Allah. You do not care about anything, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, but if you gave us, Ya Allah, nothing will decrease from your treasures, Ya Allah. But Ya Allah, our life will be turned. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we'll become wealthy, Ya Allah. We'll become wealthy, Ya Allah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ya Allah, He's given us so much hope, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, based on that hope, Ya Allah, based on your command, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we've raised our hands, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, through the tawfiq, through the will that has been given to us by you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we've raised our hands, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, you put reality into this, Ya Allah. You put reality into this, Ya Allah. Whatever we have asked, Ya Allah, please grant us that. Grant us much better and beyond than that, Ya Allah. According to your perfect ilm and wisdom, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, and whatever we did not ask and should have asked, please grant us that as well, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are nalaik, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are nobodies, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we do not even know what to ask for you, Ya Allah, and how to ask for it, Ya Allah. But Ya Allah, you are the giver and the perfect giver, Ya Allah. The perfect giver does not look at the one who's asking in the way they are asking, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, our asking is not perfect, but your giving is perfect, Ya Allah. Your giving is perfect, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, through that perfect giving, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, make us wealthy, Ya Allah. Make us wealthy, Ya Allah. Make us wealthy of heart, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we are imperfect. Whatever we do is imperfect, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we try to love you and run towards you, but we are imperfect and we fall, and we, Ya Allah, become, Ya Allah, faithless and disloyal, Ya Allah, and we turn away. But you are perfect, Ya Allah. You are perfect, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you are perfect, Ya Allah. When you love somebody, you show them your perfect love, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, your perfect love is not dependent on our loving you, Ya Allah. By virtue of the perfection that you have, Ya Allah, by virtue of you being perfect, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, please accept our full of false efforts, Ya Allah, our efforts that are, Ya Allah, nothing, Ya Allah, that are not worthy of you, Ya Allah, but you are perfect, Ya Allah. Perfection means independent of everything, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you are independent of our asking, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please do not turn us away empty-handed. Grant health and, Ya Allah, peace and comfort to all Muslims across the world, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, those who are walking to you, who are working on their hearts, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, you are their only hope, Ya Allah. Do not turn away the seeker, Ya Allah. Do not turn away the seeker, Ya Allah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.